Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in strong support of H.R. 7084, the Defending American Property Abroad Act, and I'd like to thank Chairman Graves for his support. Let's be clear, American companies operating abroad should not have to fear arbitrary government actions that undermine their property rights, but right now that is exactly what is happening. And when countries violate trade agreements and illegally seize assets from U.S. companies, it puts American job security, economic security, and quite frankly, our national security at risk. H.R. 7084 ensures there are enforceable consequences for those actions. And specifically, it strengthens U.S. maritime security law to address these unlawful seizures. Through existing Coast Guard authorities, it also authorizes the President to deny entry into U.S. ports for vessels that operate through expropriated American-owned port infrastructure in Western Hemisphere countries with U.S. free trade agreements. And we know this is not just a hypothetical example. For years, the Mexican government has targeted the U.S.-based Vulcan Materials Company. In 1986, Vulcan Materials Company built the only deep-water port in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. And for decades, this operation crushed limestone to critical infrastructure projects across the Gulf and Atlantic coast, roads, bridges, housing, and energy facilities in states represented by members on both sides of the aisle. But starting in May of 2022, the Mexican government launched an endless pressure campaign against Vulcan Materials and sent the military to forcibly shut down its operations. In 2023, they invaded and occupied the property again just to hand it to private Mexican competitor. In 2024, they declared the port and the quarry adjacent to it a naturally protected area to complete the expropriation, and now Mexico is weaponizing its tax authority, pursuing billions in retroactive dollars and claims to seize what remains. Meanwhile, Mexico has allowed a dozen unpermitted quarries in the same exact region for Mexican companies to operate freely. Let me say that again. Mexico used its military to forcibly shut down an American company and created false environmental claims to do so. And it's a direct violation of USMCA. We did not resort to legislation as a first option. In fact, for 4 years, the United States has pursued every available diplomatic tool, congressional letters, administration engagement, and bilateral pressure, and none of that worked. This represents a coordinated multi-front campaign by Mexico against an American company that undermines our diplomatic progress and threatens all U.S. investment in Mexico. Now, my colleagues may ask, why is this bill the right response? First, it's surgical. It targets expropriated port infrastructure only. It will not disrupt current legitimate shipping operations. And second, it includes clear off-ramps. If the foreign government returns the property, provides fair compensation, and resolves the dispute, then the restrictions are lifted. And lastly, it includes exceptions for emergencies and maritime safety. I'm proud to have worked in a bipartisan way with Representatives Carbajal and Sewell and Chairman Graves' committee staff on this legislation. And this isn't just about one company. We cannot allow a foreign government to steal American property and face zero consequences. This is an opportunity for us to protect American investment abroad, to protect American companies, to protect our own communities. And if you're an American company operating abroad, we have vowed to protect you, and this legislation does just that. I urge colleagues on both sides of the aisle to vote yes on H.R. 7084, and I yield back.